Alright, sorry I look like a mess. I don't typically shower until after I've gone to the gym, and I don't usually go to the gym until like 2 in the afternoon or something, because I'm not allowed to eat before 1, because I'm intermittent fasting, and if I go to the gym in the morning, I'm going to want to eat right afterwards, so I gotta wait. So on my days off, I always look like this until after I've gotten back from the gym. But that's beside the point. So I haven't been playing video games at all recently. I haven't touched video games in months because I've really just been trying to focus on myself, staying productive, and building myself into a better man. And I've found that I enjoy that way more than I enjoyed playing video games. The feeling of real world progress and leveling up in real life. That's awesome. Video games make you less creative. And some nerd is going to come in here and he's going to be like, no. Video games enrich my imagination. They make me more creative. And it's like, no. What you are ascribing to your imagination are just flashy images and memories of you playing the video game and thinking about what you want to do in the video game next. And the video game is flashy and colorful, so it makes you think that you're being imaginative when you think about it. And let's not forget that half of being creative is actually creating something, and you're not creating anything. So no, video games do not make you creative, they make you less creative. Actually, boredom makes you creative. And how are you going to cultivate boredom when you're filling your time with video games? Video games are designed to do the opposite of that. They're designed to keep you focused. No time for boredom when you're gaming. No time for holy and divine boredom when you're gaming. But yeah, so I've been avoiding video games until yesterday. For the first time in months, I downloaded a video game. And it's because for days, it was this like irrepressible itch that I had to play something. I was spending all day thinking about Halo and Mass Effect and Stellaris. I'm a big sci-fi guy. And I finally thought to myself yesterday, you know what? Just to shut myself up, just to make this guy up here shut up, I'm gonna let him play some video games for a day. So that's what I did. I re-downloaded Stellaris and I played it all day long. And it was fun. It got tedious. The last couple hours of it were pretty tedious, and that's how it is with Stellaris, but I feel like that's also how it is with most video games. I'll feel that sense of tedium after an hour or two of playing anything. But I kept going because it's, extremely addictive. And I couldn't believe it. I woke up this morning hungover. I had a hangover from playing video games. I still have a migraine. It's not going to stop me from going to the gym, but I still have a migraine. And I feel kind of slow today. Like, I've been doing my morning routine, journaling, and I got some work done. Obviously, I edited that most recent video that I put up. But none of that requires like high-speed thought or a particularly significant amount of creativity. What does require a significant amount of creativity is writing a new video script or writing a new article or taking meaningful notes on whatever book I'm reading. I haven't gotten around to doing any of those things today, and I suspect that my efficiency today will not be what it typically is, because of the video games that I played yesterday and the hangover that I'm experiencing now. Maybe the gym will get my brain moving again, but right now I just feel like my dopamine receptors are fried and my motivation to do those things is low. My mental capacity to do those things is down. It's almost as if I've built up a dependency because I had to play video games to get those thoughts to go away. But those thoughts didn't make themselves felt until months after I quit playing. So if you have a video game addiction like myself, it might be healthy to give in every other month or so and give yourself a whole day to play just so those thoughts go away, and then give yourself a day to recover because you're gonna feel gross like me. But if you're not into video games, don't ever start, honestly. Don't ever start. If you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be an author, don't even start playing video games. It's going to sap you of your energy. It's going to sap you of your creativity. And then when you try to quit, you'll find yourself having to come back to it every couple months. And if your willpower is low, I think mine is pretty high. I've been cultivating that for the past year or so. Actually cultivating it in other ways my entire life, because I've always valued willpower. But if your willpower is not as strong as mine and you have to come back to it every couple months to make those urges go away, then you're going to fall back into the habit of playing video games. I mean, I've done this before in the past when my willpower wasn't quite as high, where I've quit video games, and it was this idea that video games were taking away my freedom of my free will that made me quit in the first place. I remember it was September. Actually, let me backtrack. I quit video games for the first time my senior year of high school. I said, you know what, I have this new friend group of very productive and intelligent people. I'm just going to focus on our extracurricular activities that we have together. I'm going to focus on keeping my grades high. I'm going to focus on my future, and I'm not going to play these video games anymore. And I succeeded for like 6 months, and then after first semester was finished and my grades were all A's and all B's, you know, I felt pretty good about myself, so I allowed myself to play video games again, and I fell right back into the addiction, playing until 3 in the morning every single night, sleeping through class, failing my classes, and it was a disaster. And it stayed that way until probably September of 2020, and it was my birthday, I think, and I was spending it playing video games all day. And I sat there for a moment, you know, late at night. It was probably 11 p.m. I sat there and I thought about how this technology is designed to draw me in and how I'm allowing it to do that. Some person consciously, as they were building this machine and this video game, they consciously thought, how do we keep this guy hooked? How do we keep him from doing this and nothing productive? And when I thought of it that way, it pissed me off. It made me really mad at the person who built the video game, at the person who built my computer, and at myself. And in a state of rage, I had to stop myself from destroying my computer because I knew that I could use it for other things. But I did take away my gaming monitor and hide it in my closet. And I uninstalled all my video games, and I started blocking websites that I knew would trigger me, and it worked. The next 4 months after I did that were the best months of my life. I got real work done. My dopamine receptors weren't fried, so going into work and just talking to people felt amazing. My thoughts weren't absorbed with what I was going to do in the video game when I got home from work. I would show up, I would talk to people, I would enjoy talking to them, and they would enjoy talking to me. It was something that throughout my time being addicted to video games, I hadn't experienced. So my confidence shot way up. I even got a hot girlfriend. All good things come to an end eventually though, and I did slip back into my old ways after a couple months. You know, I started having those intrusive thoughts, you know, play the video game, and I got back into it, and I was addicted again for like a year or two. And throughout that time, I've tried quitting on multiple occasions. The theme of the past 6 months for me has been mental health. I've been focusing on my mental health, building up my willpower, focusing on, you know, being in the moment. And this has built into me such a resilience. I played my video games all day yesterday. I have no desire to return to them. The thoughts, you know, play the video game, they're not in my head anymore. They're gone. Maybe they'll come back in a couple months from now, and I'll give myself a whole day to play video games once more. But I can say with a significant amount of confidence that the addiction is never coming back. But I guess if anybody takes something away from this video, just know that it's totally possible to be that extremely productive person that you want to be, and happy and confident and having a positive outlook on life. But you should try to quit video games. I promise you, it's only holding you back. If not by sapping your creative potential, just by taking up your time. It's such a time drain. But if you've tried before and you've failed and you've built up this learned helplessness about your video game addiction, take 6 months and focus on your mental health. You can still play video games now and then during this time, but focus on your mental health. Build up some traits of resiliency in yourself. Do this by journaling and meditating and writing down what you want to do, building a routine, going to the gym. Do things that are good for your confidence and your mind. And next time you try to cold turkey quit video games, it'll work. Or it will at least go much more successfully than your previous attempts. But I guess that's all I have to say for now. Goodbye.